named Bonnette, and I'm going to show you in this video how to make bread. The first step is to put 1.5 cups of warm water in a large bowl. And before you start, you should probably pull up your hair if you have long hair and wash your hands. The second step is to dissolve a 1/2 cup of sugar in the water. Next, stir in 1 packet of yeast. After stirring in the yeast, stir in 2 cups of whole wheat flour. In the video, I'm using all-purpose flour because we did not have whole wheat flour at the time. After stirring in the flour, let the mixture rest. And when you see bubbles, stir in 1 more cup of whole wheat flour. At this point, the dough should be getting hard to stir. Now add in 2 teaspoons of salt and a 1/2 cup of cooking oil. Now stir in 2 cups of all-purpose flour after adding the cooking oil and the salt. When the dough gets a little bit harder to stir, add in 1 more cup of all-purpose flour. Then sprinkle a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour over the dough. Scrape the flour off the sides of the bowl and into the dough. Then sprinkle some flour on top of the countertop and knead the dough for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, let the dough rest. If there are any sticky parts of the dough while kneading, pinch some flour and put it into the sticky part and then knead some more. After kneading the dough, let it rest for a few minutes. Wash the bowl out or get a new one, then smear a little bit of cooking oil into the bowl on all sides and the bottom. By the way, my sister took the phone, that's why she's zooming in so much. Again, as demonstrated, smear the cooking oil on all sides of the bowl. Knead the dough for 1 to 2 more minutes, then put into the bowl. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap, then put it in the fridge so the dough rises overnight. The dough should look like this before putting it into the fridge. The next day, after you left it in the fridge overnight, put the dough onto a clean floured counter and gently let the dough deflate. After letting it deflate, divide the dough for 2 loaves. This recipe makes 2 loaves of bread. In the video, I am dividing the dough into small pieces so I could experiment a little making other things instead of loaves. It did turn out pretty good, but they were tiny and I cooked them less longer than what the recipe calls for the 2 loaves. I'm making heart-shaped bread pieces to represent Mother's Day because we were about to go to a Mother's Day party celebration thing. What I do for normal loaves is I braid the loaves so they turn out decent and braided. To braid, you take 3 pieces, roll them out, connect them at the top, then take one piece and put it over the middle one. Then you take the other piece, then put it over the middle one, and so on and so on. As demonstrated in the video, take a side piece, put it over the middle, and another side piece, and put it over the middle one. After braiding the dough, the loaves should turn out like this. Preheat the oven to 375, and while the oven is preheating, let the bread get room temperature. I made different shaped ones for Mother's Day and other things, just for experimenting. Put the bread into the oven to bake for 30 minutes. After baking, let the bread cool for 5 minutes, then you can enjoy. And that's how the braided loaf turns out when it's done baking.